WKOW. This is breaking news.
We continue to follow a major ruling from the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Justices voted to throw out legislative maps drawn by Republicans.
They say new maps need to be drawn. Political reporter Darielle Fair has you covered on the impact this ruling will have on our state. Darielle.
A decision that is set to shift the composition of Wisconsin legislature. Wisconsin has remained a divided state with its Democratic governor and Republican-controlled Senate and Assembly. Democrats will now have the opportunity to regain the majority as the state Supreme Court is now requiring the legislature to draw new legislative maps prior to the 2024 election. Law Forward, a voting rights advocacy group and one of the lawsuit's plaintiffs, praised the victory. In a statement to 27 News, Law Forward staff counsel Dan Lenz said gerrymandered maps have distorted the political landscape and the organization would be working to draw fair representative maps. In a dissenting opinion, Chief Justice Annette Ziegler argued the deal was sealed on election night, referring to Justice Janet Protasewicz's addition to the court. Ziegler said their decision to remap Wisconsin was a departure from the judicial role of the court and dangerous to the state's constitutional framework. I spoke with former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Janine Getzke, who made note of the conservative justice's continued reference to the court of four. Getzke said regardless of the claims, the liberal justices were not acting outside of their authority, going on to say this is simply what happens when you have a shift in ideology on the court.
That's what happens on courts, unfortunately, all the time. You look at what's happened to the U.S. Supreme Court. You know, suddenly the makeup of the court changed and all of a sudden decisions change and precedent gets thrown out, you know, and it's the other side politically.
The court held in its decision that it would work to draw temporary maps, requiring both parties to rely on experts to submit proposed legislative districts until the legislature formally enacts new ones. The enactment of new maps now leaves all lawmakers in the Assembly and a majority of the Senate up for re-election next year, making Wisconsin an even more pivotal state leading into the 2024 election.